In this video, we are going to watch about Vasco da Gama and his historic first visit to India through the sea route. During the 15th century, India was known across the world for its spices, silk, precious stones, and advanced trade systems. Spices like pepper, cloves, cinnamon, and nutmeg were extremely valuable in Europe and were often worth more than gold. However, Europeans could not reach India directly. The land routes were long, dangerous, and controlled by Arab and Ottoman traders who dominated the spice trade. Portugal wanted to break this control and find a direct sea route to India, which could turn the country into a global trading superpower. At this time, Portugal was one of the leading maritime nations in Europe. Portuguese sailors had already explored large parts of the African coastline. King Manuel I of Portugal believed that reaching India by sea would bring immense wealth and political power. For this ambitious mission, he selected Vasco da Gama, a strong-willed and experienced navigator born around 1460 in Portugal. Vasco da Gama was known for his discipline, leadership, and deep understanding of navigation. He was given full authority to lead an expedition that many believed was a journey of no return. On July 8, 1497, Vasco da Gama set sail from Lisbon with 4 ships and around 170 sailors. These ships were loaded with weapons, food supplies, trade goods, priests, interpreters, and even prisoners who were sent ashore in dangerous locations to gather information. The fleet sailed south along the west coast of Africa and then moved deep into the Atlantic Ocean using a navigation technique called volta de mar, which helped avoid coastal storms but pushed them into unknown waters. This decision increased the danger but was necessary for survival. Months passed as the fleet faced terrifying storms, strong winds, and endless days at sea. Many sailors fell sick due to scurvy caused by lack of fresh fruits and vegetables. Their gums bled, teeth fell out, and bodies weakened. Several sailors died and were buried at sea. When the ships finally reached the Cape of Good Hope at the southern tip of Africa, the crew believed the worst was over. However, the waters there were extremely violent, and ships were badly damaged. Still, Vasco da Gama refused to turn back, determined to complete his mission. After rounding the Cape of Good Hope, the fleet sailed north along the East African coast. They stopped at ports like Mozambique and Mombasa, where Vasco da Gama faced hostility from Arab traders who saw him as a threat to their dominance in Indian Ocean trade. False information, political tensions, and cultural misunderstandings made the journey even more dangerous. Eventually, Vasco da Gama reached Malindi, where a skilled Arab navigator agreed to help him cross the Indian Ocean by using monsoon winds, a knowledge Europeans did not possess. Using the monsoon winds, Vasco da Gama crossed the Indian Ocean, and on May 20th, 1498, after nearly 10 months at sea, he reached Calicut, present-day Kozhikode, in Karelia. He became the first European to reach India by sea. However, his arrival was not welcomed with celebration. The gifts he brought were considered cheap and unimpressive by Indian standards. Powerful Arab merchants influenced local rulers against him, viewing him as a dangerous rival. Trade negotiations failed, tensions increased, and Vasco da Gama eventually left India with limited success. In 1499, Vasco da Gama returned to Portugal with only 2 ships and a small number of surviving sailors. Despite the heavy loss of life, the voyage was considered a historic success because it proved that a direct sea route to India existed. Portugal soon sent more fleets to India, leading to military conflicts, forced trade, and the beginning of European colonial dominance in the Indian Ocean. Vasco da Gama's journey permanently changed world history, global trade, and marked the start of a long and pacific